Welcome into the Sports Hub Golf Club. Thanks for joining me on this Sunday morning once again. It's Hardy, and once again, we've been dealt some interesting issues to deal with weather-wise. Now that it's June, you would think maybe we'll have a string of good luck here for a while, which it looks like maybe for a few days. Let's not let's not dwell on that too much. Plenty of time for plenty of golf this season. Instead, I want to focus in um, specifically who our guests are this morning, or my guest is this morning. That would be Chris Wagner, formerly of the Boston Bruins. Has been with the Colorado Avalanche and their organization now for a couple of years, but he's coming back to town. Very minor announcement to make, golf related, not hockey related. But we'll let Chris do that when he joins us here in a little while. Also, there's something I want to spend a good amount of time on here this morning, and that is the latest Golf Digest 100 Greatest Public Courses list. Now, this just came out on the 27th, and maybe you do the same thing I do. This is one of my favorite things to do. Whenever there's a list of the great golf courses that gets published, um, I want to look at it. I want to see what courses I've played, and generally it's not that many, but also see where courses are rising and falling. And this is a great one because you get a chance to look at courses that you can go play. Again, this is the public courses ranking. Okay. So let's dive right into this here. And one of the reasons I want to talk about it is because from my home state of Michigan, they're going to be represented here a few times. Bay Harbor Golf Club. There are two courses, the Links and Quarry. They just make the list at number 100. Nice to see the underrated golf state of Michigan making it onto the list there at the very, very beginning. As you can imagine, there are clubs here from Arizona and Texas, just tons of land to work with. Calder, Wisconsin makes it in at 92 with Black Wolf Run. It looks absolutely phenomenal. There are some courses on here too that you don't think of as being public courses. One of them, Firestone Country Club. This is in Akron, Ohio. And again, they've held majors there, the 1960 PGA Championship, but it's a public course that you can just go play, which fantastic. Okay, great. Um, let's move down here. Trump National Doral, the Blue Monster. Again, you think of this as being a private course. It's not. It's public. That makes it in at number 86. Wild Horse Golf Club. This is in Nebraska. This is a course I've heard about. My wife is from Nebraska. I've never played it, but they call it a flyover state, which the flyover states, by the way, don't like it when you call them flyover states. Still, you don't think of them as having a ton of great golf to offer. But that one course in Nebraska that makes it first on the list there in the 80s, there's just one of them. There'll be another one too. Myrtle Beach is represented, and maybe you've played. It's the one golf trip I still have. I've got a few golf trips I still need to make. Myrtle Beach is one of them. Never been to Myrtle Beach to play golf, Hardy? No. Dunes Golf and Beach Club, Myrtle Beach, number 79. Let's move a little further down the list here. Let's get into some courses I have played. Okay. Number 1, Cascada. That is at number 74. It's in Boulder City, Nevada. So if you're in Las Vegas and you don't want to spend I think it's a minimum of $1,000 now to go play Shadow Creek. And by the way, you have to be staying at I'm pretty sure this is still the rule. There are multiple rules for playing Shadow Creek. One, you have to be staying at the MGM or an MGM property. Number 2, you have to take the limo to get there. They send a limo to get you. Now, it just seems like a bit of a pain in the ass. And if this sounds like me trying to justify why I never played Shadow Creek, yeah, there's a little bit of it too. I wish I did when you could still play it for $500, but you can't now. You can play Cascada for a lot less. Now, you got to get yourself out there, and it's a bit of a haul, but it's probably about 45 minutes from the Strip. Cascada, in Boulder City, if you're ever in Las Vegas and you're looking for a nice course to go play and you don't feel like spending the big money that it takes to play either Shadow Creek or another course I'm going to talk about here, Cascada would be the one. The other course I'm going to talk about here is Wynn Golf Club. That's number 67. That's another one that I've played. Now, in terms of convenience, if you're in Las Vegas, why not? I mean, it's right there on the Wynn and Encore property. And, we featured Wynn Golf Club on the show years ago. One of the things they offered back then was the ultimate concierge service, which is if you showed up without clubs, they would take care of it. If you showed up without shorts or shoes, by all means, grab something off the rack. You can use it while you play, and they'll take care of it. Now you're going to pay for it. you're gonna pay for the golf and the amenities, but convenience wise, you can't beat it unless you're going to go play Bali High, which is a little tiny bit further down the strip, closer to Mandalay Bay, but it's big money to play Wynn. Again, this is the Golf Digest 100 best public courses. PGA West, the stadium course, in at number 62. That's in La Quinta, California. All right. Wolf Creek, another Nevada course. That's in Mesquite, Nevada. Some guys talk about doing a Vegas golf trip and they say, oh, we're going to play Wolf Creek. You should know going in. It's not like they're keeping it a secret. That is not an easy drive from Las Vegas. You're a couple hours in the car to get to Wolf Creek, to get to Mesquite. But, the golf there is worth it if you don't mind either staying in Mesquite or doing a lot of driving the day you're going to go play in Mesquite, Nevada, if you're in Las Vegas. Of course, some courses on the Monterey Peninsula are represented, if that's where the Links at Spanish Bay is. I believe it's in Pebble Beach, California. Another public course you can go play, the Links at Spanish Bay. I mentioned there would be multiple Michigan courses here on this 100 list. Arcadia Bluffs South, Arcadia, Michigan. Absolutely phenomenal. Conditions that you're not going to find in some of these other courses, I think, that are ranked higher on the list. But again, underrated golf state of Michigan, showing up again here on this top 100 list from Golf Digest. Of course, North Carolina is in here. Tobacco Road, that's in at number 44. Hawaii is, of course, on the list a couple of times here once we get into the top 50 and the top 40. Torrey Pines, again, another course you don't think of as being available to go play. But as a public golf course, yes, Torrey Pines, right there at number 40 in La Jolla, is a course you and I can go play, if not tomorrow. I mean, it's not always easy to get tee times at these places. But, Torrey Pines is one that you can go tee it up. Nebraska, my wife's home state. I already mentioned them once. They get mentioned again at number 36 with the Prairie Club, the Dunes course specifically. A lot more Texas, a lot more California. Pinehurst, number 4, of course, is in there at number 32. Let's move down a little bit here. Harbortown, again. Any of the South Carolina courses, Hilton Head, you would expect that to make it in at number 28. A bit of a surprise, the Bandon Dunes Sheep Ranch course, number 27. I thought it would have ranked higher than this. I've never played it. I would love to do a Bandon Dunes trip. From what I hear, it's fantastic. And it's all about the golf because there's not a lot else out there for you to do. But based on what I've heard about it, I thought it would have ranked higher than that. More Wisconsin courses, kind of that upper Midwest vibe. And the people there, when they're playing, they really appreciate it, much like we do here in Massachusetts, because let's face it, if you're playing year-round around here, it's a mild winter and it's pretty rare. There's a Pete Dye course in French Lick, Indiana, the French Lick Resort. That makes it in at number 18, so they cracked the top 20. The Arcadia Bluffs Golf Club in Arcadia, Michigan. They make it on there again at number 16. Spyglass is at 13. Again, these are all public courses that you can go play. All right. When we talked about Bandon Trails. Now, this is where I thought all these Bandon courses were going to rank like top 15 at least. That's number 11. Then we get into the top 10. Bandon Dunes in at number 9. TPC Sawgrass, number 8. Bethpage. I know a ton of people who have played Bethpage, who play it regularly. That is the 7th best public golf course in the country, according to Golf Digest. Pinehurst, number 2. Number 6. Again, a course that gets a ton of play from, and maybe you've played it or know people who have played it. The highest ranking course that I've played, and it's been a long time since I played it, is number 5, Kiowa Island, the Ocean Course. Without question, the hardest golf course I've ever played. It didn't help at the time I played it. It was before the era of super big drivers, and you got to be able to hit it long and straight, and that course will absolutely eat your lunch. Whistling Straits, the Straits course, in at number 4. Shadow Creek, which we talked about earlier, the Las Vegas course, which will cost you a ton of money to play. I know people have played it multiple times. They say, oh yeah, it's worth it. But that's back when it was $500, $600, $700 to play. Now it's up over $1,000. And if you can justify it, you want to do it, sure. It's unlike any other golf course there in the Las Vegas area, but you will pay for it. Pacific Dunes in Bandon is in at number 2, and the number 1 public golf course in the country, according to Golf Digest, Pebble Beach. Now, I've talked to plenty of people who have played Pebble Beach. I'm not going to dog it at all. They say it's beautiful, it's great. In terms of the actual golf course, you will probably say to yourself once you get done playing it, again, from people who have played it that I've talked to, said it was beautiful, it was gorgeous, I've played better golf courses. But for the history and the heritage, and let's face it, the views that you get, and there is something to be said for playing a golf course that you know or seem to know just based on the number of times you've seen it on TV. Yeah, you give it points for all that stuff. I think that's why Pebble Beach makes it in at number 1. All right. There's a list of private courses too. Maybe we'll do that at another time. Maybe we'll do it later on. You know what? Let's do it later on at the show. We'll do it at the end of the show. Their list of the private courses, because there's a couple here in Massachusetts that deserve mention for how they rank. So we'll get to that. But coming up next, Chris Wagner is going to join us here on the Sports Hub Golf Club. Joining us now in the Sports Hub Golf Club, former Boston Bruin, current golf great, calling from the, I don't know. I don't know I don't know the nickname of the state you're in right now, Chris. And that'll be my first question for you. Chris Wagner, joining us now in the Sports Hub Golf Club. Colorado is the what state?
Would it be like the Rocky Mountain State, or I could have made that up. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, let's start with this. Do you know what the nickname for Massachusetts is?
The Bay State.
Very good. Apparently you're in the Centennial State.
Oh, I did not know that. Why is that? Why is that? I don't even know.
Because Colorado became the 38th state of the Union in 1876, 100 years after the Declaration of Independence.
Did you just look that up?
Yeah. Look, I'm quick, man. I'm quick.
Sounded smart there for a second.
Thank you. Well, it's the tricks of the trade. Wags, great to have you on the show. Very excited to make the announcement here this morning that we are getting the band back together. Do you want to break the news on this?
Yeah, we'll be there June 9th at the Who's Your Caddy Classic. How many second places do we have? 2, 3?
Yeah, I believe at least 2, and I think, have we done it 2 or 3 times?
Yeah. Last year you became big time as the morning host and left us out to dry. Me and Tommy Crab Cakes were waiting for the call and never got it, but you came crawling back, and we're happy for you. You
guys could have put in a bid, a charitable donation, and nabbed that spot, but it would have been with me and Fred. This year we decided, let's go back to the old format. You guys can put together your own teams. And the first thing I did was tell Fred, see you later. I don't know what my team is going to be, but you're not on it. So instead, it'll be me, you, Tommy Crab Cakes, Steve Shaw from Travis Matthew, And we'll see what goes down on June 9th there at Brook Meadow. But it'll be great to play with you again. It'll be great to have you back in Massachusetts. So for anybody who doesn't know, Chris, you left to go to the Avalanche. I'm trying to figure it out. Was it around this time last year? It hasn't been 2 years.
No, it's been 2. I remember 2 years ago, I signed on July 1st, and then I tore my Achilles, and then
On
I was
July
out
2nd.
on July 5th, literally.
Oh no.
And then
So that was
came back.
2023.
That was 2023.
Okay.
So then played from January on in 2024.
Yeah.
And then signed in like April another extension for this year. And then now, so it's been 2 years since I've been out here.
Okay. So your Achilles injury, number one, was devastating, was a training injury, if I remember.
Yeah.
But a remarkable recovery from that. And you were back, skating, I think, in a pretty impressive amount of time, and actually back playing in even more impressive amount of time. You are the best person to ask about this. What does that mean for Jason Tatum?
Yeah, for him it's tough just because it's basketball, and in hockey you're strapped in the boot. So we tend to have a quicker recovery time. I was playing games in 6 months, but I could not run up and down a court in 6 months for sure.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, because there's just less variability in the skate boot. You don't have as much toe flexion. So for him, I mean, you never know. He was younger than me when he did it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I gotta say at least 10 to 11 months at the very least.
Either that, or maybe they just have him play in, like, something the equivalent of a hockey skate, but in a basketball shoe.
Yeah, I don't know how explosive he'd be. Yeah, I still will not be dunking anytime soon. So I'm also petrified of playing pickleball or all those sports with a quick movement. And I heard you're not very good at pickleball either, so I wouldn't suggest you risk your Achilles for that.
You should only be afraid of playing pickleball if you're expecting to play Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman, and instead you play Rob Gronkowski and some jag-off professional pickleball player who hops in at the last second, who could easily beat anybody in the state, especially me and Felger, 2-on-1. He didn't even need Gronkowski on his team. That's the only thing you need to be fearful of. He was a nice guy, Steve Sherry, good dude.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure Felger ripped him apart in the afternoon today.
Yeah. Look, it was a Bush League move. What it was, Gronk didn't want to lose to us. I don't blame him. Guy didn't like to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the more pressing question, since we're on the Sports Hub Golf Club. How has the Achilles affected your golf game? Because the last time you and I played, I would say you're probably playing to a low single digit, maybe about a 3 at the time, the last time you and I got a chance to go play.
Yeah, that was like June, right?
Yeah.
Played George, right? Yeah, no, I'm still down there. I think I'm a 4.6 right now. But actually I had a great run after playing with you. I think I won my flight in a member, and then had a good run at the Fallon Cup at Wally. So it was good. I got down to like a 2.6, I think. So
dude, those tournament scores will do nasty things to your handicap. You're going to drop.
Oh, yeah. And actually, the reason I'm going back up is because they're starting to trickle out of my handicap, which is great for going back home and playing with the buddies in the summer.
Well, I would think too, if you're playing a lot out in Colorado, it's going to be a rude awakening when you come back to sea level and start playing where the ball doesn't automatically go 300 yards just for breathing on it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but then like if you don't figure that out, like you can still, blow the ball over the green and then you're in trouble anyways. I'll say that the hardest part from like Colorado to Mass is the amount of trees in Massachusetts is so much harder. There's more narrow fairways. Colorado punishes you differently. We play this course, Rain Dance. I don't know if you've ever heard. It's like the longest course in North America or whatever. But that has just like drop offs. There's no real roughs, and it plays fast and firm. Massachusetts is just tight and way thicker rough. You probably know this. What's the grass type out here versus Massachusetts?
No idea. All I
Okay.
know is that I just looked up Rain Dance, 8,463 yards.
Yeah, we play it at we play it at like 7,400.
I mean,
Um,
come on.
yeah.
7,400 is ridiculous.
And
8,400?
that's like the blue tees too. Like there's a blue, a purple, and then there's a tour, which is the 8,400. And I've yet to do that because you have to carry the ball, 280 on some holes. And then you still have about a 230-yard shot on a par four. So yeah, it's a great course though. The other thing is it's just so windy out here. A lot of the time because there's no trees and there's nothing hiding it. So you get downwind or wind in the face, it's tough to figure out the right club.
I played a lot in New Mexico when I lived there, and a lot more when I lived in Vegas. And New Mexico, in Albuquerque, it's close to the same elevation as Denver. So you get the distance, but it's the no tree thing and it's the roll, and you get a little spoiled. Vegas, the ball goes a long way due to the heat, especially when you're playing in the summer, but the wind is such a factor. And out here on a windy day, I'll come off the course and be complaining about a 2-club wind. I got to remind myself when you're playing out in the, treeless courses, either in Colorado or in Las Vegas, there is, let's just say it's not uncommon to have a 3 and 4 club wind where
No.
you just, one of the last times I played in Vegas, I remember first hole, I had 92 yards into the green after a great drive, but then it was a dog leg. 92 yards, I hit absolutely pure to 9-iron and came up short of the green. Next hole, 300 and a short par 4, 312, playing a little downwind. I was over the green with the driver. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Some days you just kind of throw up your hands and say, what are we doing? I don't know how to play
mentally, like, what are you supposed to do? Hit a 7-iron from 92 yards? You just
exactly.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
No matter how much you talk to yourself.
So you're headed back to Massachusetts, obviously in time for the Sports Hub Golf Club, Who's Your Caddy Classic. Getting the band back together. Everyone's very excited. But Chris Wagner is also coming home to play some other golf courses during the summer. Where do you play during the summer mostly, Chris?
Sacanesset Golf Club in Falmouth. I have been a member of Wallaston for a while, but I have a house in Falmouth now, so it's tough to get up to Wally as much as I'd like to, especially now having a 2-year-old as well.
Yes, congratulations. Yeah, we've talked many times since the birth of your daughter, but it does change things.
Sure does. Sure does. I just had to take my name off the spring invitational for next week because we're moving back right now, and it's just too much to have that followed by one of my buddy's bachelor parties on the weekend. So I wasn't going to ask Kate for 4 days away after getting home from being away for almost 9 months, it felt like. So
yeah, you got to pick your spots, man.
You sure do. But I did pick my spot on the Monday following it for the old scramble of the Who's Your Caddy Classic. So
let's talk a little bit more about our runner-up finishes in tournaments past. What do you think went wrong?
See, to be honest, I think we've played up to our potential. I just think we've played pretty good. I've seen Tommy play. He's played some of his best golf at Tommy and my buddy who plays with us, my high school, one of my best friends from high school. He's played some of his best golf with us. I don't want to call him out now. I need a little more out of Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said it. I mean,
like as a rep for Travis Matthews, like I'm looking for a lot more.
I don't blame it. Now, look, I'm there really more as like a player coach. I'm there to inspire. I'm there to, keep things loose.
Locker room guy.
Yeah, 10 to pin, you
Yeah.
know. I'm like the Chris Kelly of the
Yeah.
team, you know. I'm great in the room, but I'm not, you know, you don't think of me as, you know, one of your top line guys. I'm not a top six, and we've only got 4 on the team.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm there. I feel playing my part. You play your part basically by, you know, getting us way out there down the fairway. I remember, I think 2 times ago when we played, in fact, Fred Toucher and his group, they were in front of us, and it was the first of the back-to-back par fives at Brook Meadow. And we used your drive, which you put well over the bunker on the left. It was in the left rough, Wags. I mean,
It was.
I'm not going to give you more credit than you deserve. But on this par five, we had about 140 in. It was my 8-iron out of the rough that we stuck to 2 feet. And it was one of those scramble, just go up there, scoop the ball. We got the eagle. And that is a great example of both of us playing our part on
Yeah.
that hole. Your drive, my lucky approach. What is Shao doing? What did Steve do the last time we played? Tell me a shot that he hit that we used.
I just remember he chunks the ball a lot. So maybe we can talk to him about, you know, dropping that right shoulder a little too much. I mean, he probably doesn't get to play a heck of a lot too, so I
No.
can't be too hard on him. Oh, I mean, what everybody says in scrambles is just make a couple putts, but you have to get the ball there, you know, somehow.
You can't leave it short.
No, and you have to. I think it's all about the wedges because someone will hit a drive remotely in play, and then you got
Well,
to get a wedge tight.
you know
So
this from playing with me. I tend not to use the wedges. What I like to do is use a hybrid
yeah, oh
from off the
yeah,
green.
yeah.
What do you mean you forgot?
I
Do you
no,
want
I've I haven't
Wags?
thought about it in a couple of years.
Do you want that? Do you want somebody? Let's say you're 18 yards off the green. Yeah, you had a great drive on a par four. You're 20 yards short, or you know a long par five, and you're just shy of the green. First guy up. What's my job as first guy up on a scramble team when we're in really nice shape and we're only 20, let's say 15 yards short of the green? What's my job?
So I hope to God it's a par five, and we're not doing this on a par four because
No, no.
we will not win.
But but
But
the
your job is to get a ball on the green within 30 feet.
okay, I am more inclined, more apt, I would say, guaranteed to do that job using my hybrid Texas wedge method than I am pulling out my 58 degree and trying to float one in there and get it to land like a butterfly with sore feet. That's not my game.
Yeah, but think about this though. Like, so technically, I should get within 20 feet of a 15 with a 15-yard shot. So
Sure.
you're selling yourself short
Yes.
by not trying it.
Yes.
Because I think there's a little complex where you want to just be able to say, I did my job, and then just the pressure's off. So
I,
I would like to see you try some wedges this year.
you know, look, you're talking about picking your spots with your wife in terms of, you know, bachelor parties, golf tournaments, members, stuff like that. I'm picking my spots during the scramble round. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not my spot. 15 yards off the green. I'm picking my spot a little bit later when we're 130. You've got, you know, gap wedge. I've got 9-iron. Let me see if I can, you know, put one real close here for you. I'm more apt to do that than I am hit a delicate wedge shot and get it close to the
Yeah, but
hole.
when you think about it though, like that's 130 yards versus 15. It shouldn't be that scary, no?
What? I don't have great hands. What do you want?
I don't know. I want you to keep. You know what I always see now. I mean, if you're on Instagram, like those Joe Mayo videos of the chipping around the green. You
Oh
ever
yeah.
get those?
Oh
Like
yeah.
you're supposed to get really steep now and make contact with the ball. But
I
my
know.
thing is, I started trying it like last week, and some of them are unbelievable, and some of them you just skull, you know, 40 yards. So it's like it's tough to make yourself do it in an actual match or something.
Well, it's tough to be consistent when you change chipping and pitching methods mid round, which I will do
Yeah.
many times more than once.
Yeah. Yeah. But every shot's different, right? Like, I mean, you have the chunk and run, like a absolute flop shot, and then just you're supposed to be able to do it all.
The methodology is not supposed to change, though. You're supposed to develop like one consistent
Yes. Yeah,
short
I
game
agree with that.
stroke. And
Yeah.
just Phil on Instagram's the same way. He's like, now Phil's got all these shots in the bag, but he preaches, nope, you're off the back foot here with the hands forward to get it low and running.
Mhm.
You're off the front foot, same thing, hands in front to get a little more loft, and they make it look so easy.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But that's after a lot of practice and grinding on their. That's their job.
Yeah, I know. And there's a short game area over at the Cape Club that I should use, but I'm more inclined to just either go to the range or even more likely just go to the first tee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, you learn by playing. You practice when you play. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
All right, Chris Wagner here, who is making his way back from Colorado, and I'm going to reshare with you a story here, Chris. This will test to see if you were paying attention the first time I told you this. But I once asked another professional hockey player, Ray Bork, what makes you guys so good at golf? And I gave him a list of options. I said, is it, the downward strike, like mimicking a slap shot? Is it the rotation? Is it just your elite hand-eye coordination? Do you know what Ray Bork told me?
I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly, but I feel like you said, actually, I don't know. I'm taking a guess here. You have summers off.
Bingo. That's it. You do. You
I do remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said, no, we just have our summers off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be more to it. There's so many of you included, are so good at this game. There has to be some other connection because you don't get it in other sports.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right with all the torque and stuff, but I mean, I think I was a 12 in 2012, 2013, and I'm now like a 4, but I still don't consider myself that good. I still want to get better, and it's just by having summers off that I've been able to get better. That is the truth. Yeah.
Well, you have your summer off. You're going to be back here in time for the Sports Hub Golf Club. Who's Your Caddy on June 9th? Me, you, Tommy Crabcake, Steve Shaw. Steve, you've been called out, man. You got to show up for us. Tommy Crabcake's got it done by doing that little crab walk approach shot of his. That's how he picked up his nickname.
He's come a long way too. He was like a 20, probably 5-6 years ago. He's grinded down to a 13, 14, I think now.
Okay.
But he's pretty consistent off the tee. We always used to say his putting was the worst part of his game. Back a couple of years ago, I haven't played with him much, and obviously the last year or two. So I'm looking forward to it. I know he's fired up. He gets to take a break from Deloitte for a day. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
All right, so if he's down at a 13-14, he and I match up nicely. Between you and Steve, we'll have 2 A players and 2 C players. It's not a typical scramble team, but hey, why should we start doing anything normally now?
2 of the best C locker room guys, though.
Oh yeah, thank you, thank you for that. Yeah, know your role, Chris. Great to see you. Can't wait to see you in person here very, very soon. And who knows? Maybe we'll do this again, and we'll actually have a serious, dedicated golf conversation next time. And you can give me some tips, as long as they don't involve wedges around the greens.
I'll be doing that in a couple of weeks.
Back to wrap things up here on the Sports Hub Golf Club. I said earlier on the show that we were doing the running down the not all 100, but just highlights of the top 100 best public courses in America, according to Golf Digest. They did another list that they released, I guess, just last week, of around the same time, of their top 100 courses, period. So this takes into account everything, public and private, of the best courses in America. And there are notable Massachusetts and New England golf courses mentioned here. Run through a few of them. The first one in at number 91, Boston Golf Club. And I'm just going to mention every one of these that I haven't played. Hardy, are you mentioning it in order to get an invite? Maybe. According to the write-up, one vein of sand serves as hell's 1/3 acre hazard. And there's also something interesting about this that I don't know because I've never played it. The finishing hole is a par 3, which, hey, just like Presidents in Quincy, it's the exact same thing. Another Massachusetts club in at number 89, the Catanzit Club, also a golf course. I don't want to say I've never played. How about this? I haven't played yet. The one that I really want to get to here, because I love this place so much, and I love when it gets recognition because it deserves recognition, and that is Myopia Hunt Club. Now, you'll hear me stalling here as I scroll down through the list because I don't even know if it was on this list, say 10 years ago, but people have figured it out, or they've remembered that the Myopia Hunt Club is this awesome, awesome place. Here it is, number 54, South Hamilton, Mass. Now, they hosted 4 US Opens, but they were a long time ago. Okay. The last one they hosted was in 1908. But the Myopia Hunt Club, tiny greens, super, super fast. I don't know. I guess you could call it quirky in its layout and design. I just think it's fantastic. And I've played it a few times. I always shoot about 110, and I don't care because, number one, if I'm on greens like that and I, 3 or even 4 putt, I just chalk it up to you're not used to it. You're not good enough to be playing here anyway. Just be thankful that you're here. And that's how I approach it when I get a chance to play a course like Myopia. So once again, happy that they're in the top 100 and pretty high ranking too at number 54. All right, let's scroll down here and see if we can find the other Massachusetts courses. Maybe there's only one more. If I checked out the list a couple of days ago. I know the Country Club is very, very high up on the list, and it should be. Yes. In Brookline, the main course. So the club's 18-hole course that was the same course for the 63 and 88 US Opens is not the course that they're ranking here, that Golf Digest is ranking. So because they use the composite course that uses the Primrose course. So the Country Club main course is in at number 17. Where it gets interesting is, does the Country Club get a mention for the tournament course? Well, let's keep strolling. Now we're into the top 10. I'm looking at Oakmont at number 5, Shinnecock at number 4, Cypress at number 3, Augusta National at number 2, Pine Valley is number 1. So no, I was hoping when I was first looking at the list that Brookline would somehow manage to make it in there twice for the 2 different layouts, but I guess they figure, no, that's not really fair because they utilize so much of the main course in the tournament course that it doesn't really make sense to include them twice. But congratulations to the Massachusetts courses making it onto the Golf Digest Top 100. And that's going to do it for this week's Sports Hub Golf Club. I want to thank Chris Wagner, who was our guest earlier. Also want to thank Wedgwood Pines, Freedom Boat Club, Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, and Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka. Thank you for listening. And if you're checking out the video, watching the Sports Hub Golf Club, we'll do it again next week, same time, right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.